Hello friends, neighbors, John, your neighbor here. Welcome down to the Nook. Welcome to Sunday. And I've got some Irish samples. I have to say these already look like they might be something pretty impressive. I'm going to first talk about special cask from Killowen, the Barántúil. That came out, I think, last year. It's like a 60%. There's lots going on there. And then PWS Killowen cask, 58%. That's a single pot still. And then I'm going to round it off with this 2-stack smoke and mirrors, but aged or finished in a Mandorla cream cask. So this exact release, but put into a Mandorla cream cask. So I've got some pretty unique Irish samples. If you're going to try to join along, anything from Killowen, anything from 2-stacks, and if not, pot still might resonate here. I don't know, I haven't had it. Peated Irish might resonate here. And this, well, it's a mixed Irish. It's got all kinds of stuff in the mash bill, so I don't know. But something Irish, and come on back. 3, 4. Well, thanks for coming back. And I right off the top want to again thank Sean, Dark Cloud Whiskey, for keeping me in some excellent samples. You know, the first two are from Killowen. I guess I don't have the barrels, but what I can do is maybe put a quick barrel shot just so you kind of see Killowen, a little bit what their label looks like. What you're seeing in the bottle here is their rum raisin, which I just love. It's definitely not my first bottle, and it won't be my last once I crack this open and get through it. But that's sourced. It's excellent. They sourced well. They finished well, but it's sourced. I believe, and if I'm wrong, Sean, get on the channel and I don't know, pull the video down. No, I don't do that. But I believe both of these samples are actually Killowen distillate. Now, the first one here, I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, but Barántúil cask number 1. He didn't have it on the bottle here. Sean says it's one of the top 5 whiskeys he ever had last year, or even 2 years ago. It's 2022, so it's the sample's been here for a while. But I had to write notes down. I believe the mixed mash bill in here is. How did someone describe it? 3 bags unmalted, 7 bags smoked malted barley, 2 bags oats, 1 bag wheat, 1 bag rye. That's a great way to describe a mash bill. Not parts, we're talking, no, we're literally opened bags. And I've had the good fortune of doing that at Sons of Vancouver. And then he's got turfed PX barrel. And I think that means it was a PX sherry barrel that it's aged entirely. It's only 3 years old, but it's Killowen's own distillate. And the site that I was on described it like they rinsed it before they filled it. And maybe that's what turfed means. I don't know. I haven't heard turfed before. Oh, one thing as I get going, I just want to say, I don't know if you can see these, but I think this is a great, like, look at this. You know, when I talk about liking natural color, this is why. These are all natural and they're already telling me a story. This one, given it's 3 years, I'm thinking, oh, there's probably sherry, even if I didn't know that. This one is so light, it's 3 years, I'm thinking, you know what, that's probably an ex-bourbon or something like that. And this one's somewhere in between, so I'm like, well, there could be some new oak in there, there could be, I'm not sure what's going on. But the color already tells a story, and it's one of the reasons why I just want all whiskey to be natural color. And if you're worried about consistency, make it a batch product, and then we'll talk about why this one seems lighter or darker than the other. This here is Killowen Barántúil, 60.7%. I think I've said everything I need to know, except what is the whiskey like? On the nose. Wow, you know, it is rich, lots of fruit, lots of Christmas cake, but it's got some unusual things going on. Oh, now I'm worried it could be interplaying with my environment. I did a lot of heavy chores earlier today. I don't know, because it's got roasted chestnuts, cooked almonds. Oh, it's got a lovely baked dessert nose. This is one of the most unique noses I think I have ever had. Yeah, cooked desserts but cooked breakfast. I've got all kinds of roasted light espresso, lots of different mixed nuts, dark fruits, cooked stewed fruits, baked in a fruit type custard. Okay, I'm just gonna say it again. Maybe I mixed up. Now there's a bit of chocolate in there, but this is all of those notes, little pieces of them I've had in different whiskeys. I have to say, put together, this is absolutely one of the most unique whiskey noses I've ever had. It might even make me think I'm drinking something else I'm not very familiar with, like a cognac or something like that. Let's go into the palate of this Irish mixed malt. Some of the other notes I'm getting here might be off-putting. You might think, what? I'm getting a little bit of resinous, almost like a pine, like a little bit of aspen wood or pine. Yep. And that is a bit sour, and it is a little bit, whatever that pine note is, but it's in like pine roasted nuts, and it's in dark fruit bouquets, and it's in sweet, drying, long finish whiskeys. I can see why this was on Sean's top list, and he samples or drinks a lot of whiskey, as I do, in a year, and for it to hit top 5, I just want to say this is unique. It's a journey. They may still have 1 or 2 casks in the Edmonton area. I don't know. I don't know how websites are kept up, but that is wildly unique. Okay, I'm going to move over to this Killowen PWS cask number 39, 58.2%. And take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. I'm trying it for the first time. I know most of my whiskey friends are going to be at March 15th tasting this with Sean. But it is light and clear, and I believe it's Killowen. I believe it's a pot still, so malted and unmalted barley, 3 years old. This color is telling me this is an ex-bourbon cask. Let's go nose and palate. This is a completely different animal. I cannot explain how unique this is, and then this. Wow, this is a pot still. It's nice. It does feel a bit young, but it's also very strong, 58.2%, and that could be where I'm going. But I've got, orchard fruits. I've got a little bit of white grape, light citrus. I can't tell you how different it is than this roasted, nutty, fruity oatmeal. But it's a nice single pot nose. I'm not getting a lot of spice on the nose, but that often doesn't come until I've had a sip. So let's get in. Sláinte. It's got a nice malty note. Malt grain, not grain, whiskey grain, but a little nutty, a little husky, a little grainy. It also has in the palate just a hint of those pine nuts that I'm getting over here. I wonder if that's a house style, because this is my first Killowen house style. I love how they've been sourcing. That rum raisin's a favorite, but now I'm tasting their distillate, and there is a body, a quality, an oiliness, a coatingness that I might at first just talk about different nuts, a little bit toward almond, but I'm getting a little bit of pine nut. I got to try it again. Sláinte. I'm really liking the coating, the oily, the almost chewy nature. It definitely has pot still spices. It's peppery. I've got both white and black pepper now. Actually quite a bit coming up, and not from alcohol. I'm talking that unmalted barley mixing in and giving it that nice peppery hug that I get in pot still. I would want more time with this because I don't know, like these are very strong whiskeys. Of course, I clear my palate with some water, sometimes some crackers, but I'm worried that pine nut is coming from this cask, just sticking, because they're both powerful whiskeys. Really nice, also a bit drying, peppery pot still. Very nice. Well, let's come to the third up here, and it is, I'll put this bottle out so you can recognize it. It's Two Stacks. Two Stacks, Irish distillery as well, putting out good stuff. And they came out a while ago with this Smoke and Mirrors that has 30% peated malt, 60% stout malt, and 10% double malt. I think that relates to some casking too. Yeah, ex-bourbon, ex-imperial oat casks, and some first fill ex-bourbon. So that's this, but that's not this. This whiskey is all of that, and then it's finished in a Mandorla cream sherry cask, and it's released at 58%. I fully admit I don't know what Mandorla cream is. I looked it up online, and it's either cream sherry, which can be a mix of a variety of different sherries to get more of that creamy sherry note, or it's something Mandorla cream, which is a very specific Italian cream liqueur. So I don't know what I'm actually drinking. That's not a big surprise. So this is Two Stacks. It's still Irish. I read you all the different malts that are going on in there, and then the casking. So let's see where this takes me on the nose. Oh, compared to these, I would say, okay, funky is it? Oh, okay. I was gonna say it's quite a bit sweeter, and it is, but this one actually, the pot still came back with some more sweetness on the nose. It's definitely more smoked, shocking, although I know this one's got a bit of smoked malt, but it's got a little more smoke. It's got a lot more pear and lemon, a lot more lemon. Maybe as that settles, that could be orange. It could be more like an orange liqueur. Yeah, now that I've said that, I can get into a bit of a creamsicle note there. All right, let's get in and try this on the palate. Two Stacks, Mandorla cream. Cheers. I shouldn't have finished with that nosing note because that's what I tasted in the palate. It also is strong, 58% spicy, bit peppery, definite more peat. Like campfire peat, salty a little bit, not a ton of brine, but a little bit of salt. Campfire peat, smoldering, vegetable moss type peat, not beechwood, not astringent for me, but I could see how it could start pushing that a little bit medicinal. I'm gonna bring it back, and then creamsicle. I don't know why. I have no idea how that relates to the Mandorla cream sherry cask finish, but for me, I've got that orange creamsicle note that is running around in there. Better try another quick sip. Sláinte. Yeah, and even this, I should probably pour this. I don't think I do a fourth up here with you guys. The percentages are just too kicker. This has Imperial Stout, which I've noted before, gives it a bit of body like that, a bit of that, creamy beer going on, and maybe add with that sweetness of sherry. It's even more peated the more I drink it. Again, perhaps, this has some of that peated or smoked malt anyways. Oh, and the finish is a little hotter, a little spicier. I would say this is one of the most unique Irish flights I've ever had. A mixed, oats and wheat and rye and unmalted and malted barley all going into here. Then a single pot still. And then all of those different malts and cask and Imperial Stout, and then finished in a cream sherry, a Mandorla cream. Very, very unique, which is fun. And anyone ever says, Irish whiskey is boring, it's like the same people that say Canadian whiskey is boring. There are so many awesome, usually smaller distilleries that are really taking time to put out craft spirit, to consider, both this is the grain, the mash bill that's going on, the casking that's going on, to deliver just a great product. Thanks again to Sean Darkcloud for these samples. They're phenomenal. And for anyone who stayed this long into the video, I really hope you guys have a great Sunday and a great week coming up. Take care.